All right, here we go.
Halloween ends. Now, Hollywood is just on a roll, isn't it? First we get She-Hulk, cause yeah, that was great. Then we get Rings of Power. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And now Halloween ends. I mean, bravo, Halloween. Y'all just hitting strikes, right? Hitting strikes. Halloween ends. Oh my god, I saw this movie. This is the worst horror movie I have seen. And there are some terrible horror movies, as we know. But this is the worst written, bad directed, bad edited, bad pacing, bad storytelling, bad uninteresting, boring ass movie I have seen this year. This is the worst movie of the year, without a doubt. I mean, seriously. This movie is bad on so many levels. I was watching this, what's going on? This was supposed to be like the big final act of Halloween. Well, then my first perspective on the first movie, when the 2018 Halloween, I thought it was alright. I mean, it was kind of like, yeah, the same. Michael Myers terrorizing again. We've seen it before, but it was enjoyable. At least we see Laurie fighting Michael Myers in his house and everything. It was actually enjoyable. Halloween Kills, I actually enjoyed. Actually had a good time to see Michael Myers on this killing spree, and the deaths were over the top, and the people, and actually it was actually fun. And David Gordon Green was directed all three movies, but I kind of felt like this movie was only made because they had to, because they signed a trilogy. That's it. Now this will be spoilers, because like when I saw this movie, I could not believe how terrible and bad the script is of this show. And the performances, oh, I mean like, whew. What happened here? Because seriously, the story is this time that it's been 4 years since Halloween Kills, and Michael Myers, nobody can find him. Everybody thinks he kind of went away, and Laurie is finally having like a sort of normal life, living, you know, in Haddonfield, bought a house, living with her granddaughter, and trying to live a normal life. She's writing a book about everything she went through with Michael, basically. And I feel like this is so boring and uninteresting. I mean, this was supposed to be the final chapter, the final big battle, because she wasn't in the last movie, she was in the hospital the whole time. She never fought Michael. Those characters do not even have one scene together in Halloween Kills. And then Hollywood Ends supposed to be like this final big battle of her finally getting her revenge on Michael. But instead, it kind of feels like, oh, we already done that, and this is already what happened after that. Now we do get introduced with this new character who babysits and accidentally kills a child. And then all of a sudden, he is like kind of, his story arc is like, it's such a weird character. Because at first, it kind of feels like this guy who's trying to, you know, who had something terrible happen, got blamed for. And now he's trying to like, you know, get back to living a normal life, but they don't do that. He just becomes like, his character motivation changes. He goes from angry to sad to weird to confused to this to that to angry to murderous to this to this. It's just like they don't know what to do with his character. His character goes to, it's just a bad, not enjoyable character. It's not a character you feel sorry for or root for even in the show. And now he's just like sort of becomes like the new Michael Myers, like he's being consumed by evil. Which I feel like, okay, they kind of just like force it on it. Also, there's a romance between this guy and Laurie's granddaughter. This is the most forced, fastest romance I have seen in a movie ever. Like, this is not believable at all. I mean, like, seriously, you can clearly tell this dude is fucked up and not right in the head. And she is like head over feet in love with this dude. And yes, I like you and this and that. I just like... oh my god, this is just like, what is happening here? I mean, the romance is just so bad. I mean, seriously, it is not entertaining or believable at all. And also, when it comes to her granddaughter, I feel like everything that happens before she like forgets about everything, and cause like the way her character arc is in this movie, it's just like, oh yeah, when Laurie tells her that, you know, that he's been consumed by evil and he, you know, and she didn't kill him. Oh no, you killed him. It's like, hello, did you just forget everything? It's just like she doesn't believe her grandma at all. It's just like, you fought 2 movies against this dude and you still don't believe her. It's like, because they're kind of trying to make it like, oh yeah, you are still haunted and everything. It's just like, And when it comes to Laurie Gordon, she doesn't do shit in the movie. She does not do anything in the movie. We see her shopping, we see her write her book. Yeah, that's it. Talk to her granddaughter a few here and there. And then she fights Michael Myers like for 3 minutes at the end. Because they're like, oh yeah, right. The writers forgot like, oh yeah, it's called Halloween. The pacing of the movie is also so all over the place. And the editing of the movie is so bad. Like as soon as the millisecond of a scene would end, we cut to something all of a sudden. And then we cut to something like this. The way this movie is pacing and it's just terrible. This is the most worst paced movie I've ever seen. There's no real consistent pacing or storytelling. It's just, we have this scene. It's like they just have a bunch of scenes and just mush them together without any creativity at all. Like you can clearly tell they had no idea what to do in this movie. They had no idea anymore how to finish this trilogy. And you can clearly tell, and 4 people wrote the script, including the director. And you tell me there's 4 people came up with this piece of bullshit of a script? Who the hell greenlighted this script? If I would have seen that script, I would have been like, no. This feels like the very first draft of Halloween Ends, and they made that in. This doesn't feel like the final version. This feels like the very first draft of Halloween Ends of the script. And that's what they made. And you can clearly see. Also, this version of Haddonfield doesn't feel like the last version. I don't know. Haddonfield felt more like a city. Here, you can clearly tell the budget is also like way less for some reason. Like it's not as, the budget doesn't feel like, Haddonfield doesn't feel like a city. It's just you have only those 2-3 locations that the characters just stay in. And that's basically it. It doesn't feel very like a lived-in city. It's just like, oh yeah, this few spots that they have in Haddonfield. It's like the budget somehow, this movie feels a lot smaller and container. Like, and then they're trying to recreate scenes from the first movie, which I feel like we don't need this. We already had that in the 2018 version. But it's just like these writers and the direction is just so bad and pacing. Oh yeah, when it comes to being this movie scary, nope. Nope, not scary at all. Not one suspenseful scene, not one scary-ass scene, nothing. And Michael Myers, this is the thing that really made me surprised. Michael Myers, I have counted. Michael Myers in the entirety of the movie is like 7 minutes. Now this movie is 1 hour and 50 minutes. And we only get 7 to maximum 8 minutes of Michael Myers. And the thing is that the first time we see him, we have to wait 1 hour to even see him. And we see him for a quick 37-second scene where he chokes a guy and then lets him go. Then we get to see him in another scene where he actually kills one guy, but just like only for 2 minutes. And then at the end we have a quick 3-minute scene where he fights. Like this is all that Michael Myers does. And then there's one quick like 20-second scene where he kills one chick. I feel like the Michael Myers in this movie is like the biggest bitch I've ever seen. Like if this would have been Michael Myers, anybody could defeat his ass. I mean, I don't know what happened. Like in Halloween Kills, Michael Myers was this truly unstoppable force, and that was the thing what kind of made him scary. Like he's an unstoppable force, no matter how many times you stab and kill him, shoot him, or any of that. I mean, even Hollywood Ends, where everybody started was Hollywood Kills, where everybody was like hitting him this and beating up, and he just got up and started slashing and stashing and killing everybody in the movie. But this time he's just like, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I can barely kill. I mean, this new character goes to Michael Myers, tackles him to the floor like a little bitch, and steals his mask. And Michael Myers just gets up and just like, okay. What the hell is that? They turned Michael Myers into the biggest bitch in horror cinematic universe. I mean, seriously, he's such a bitch in this movie. anybody can defeat him. He's not threatening at once. Because like, I feel like, okay, if you're gonna have this movie 4 years apart, Michael Myers, you know, he's saving his strength because it took a little bit more power of him. But now this whole fun idea of Michael Myers being this unstoppable machine kind of got ruined because we see him like in the sewers, you know, kind of being alone, you know, hunching, barely moving, really moving like an old grandpa. I mean, yes, he is technically old for his age because it's been over 40 years, but like that would make him so scary because he's supposed to be like this unstoppable force, but he's just a little bitch sitting in his sewer in his little corner and not doing shit. I mean, seriously. And then he lets this guy live, and then he can barely kill this other guy, and then the fight with Laurie at the end is just so bad and uninteresting. It's just like, I was like, what happened? This is not Michael Myers. This is just a little bitch that we see on screen wearing the Michael Myers mask. And then kind of him and this new guy work together while they kill people, even though he has no motivation to kill some of those people even at all. And it's just like, and of course you have these asshole characters in the movie, which of course you have to have. You need those asshole characters in the movie, so you know, so you see some enjoyment when they die. But I feel like even the way they execute the killing scenes are just bad, boring, not in a cool way, not in a scary way. There's no suspense. I mean, this is the least suspenseful, scary movie. I mean, this is just terrible. Terrible. I haven't seen such a terrible movie in a very long time. Halloween Ends, you can clearly tell they had no idea more what to do. They had terrible, unlikable characters. The characters from the previous movies don't do shit and act like everything that happened before didn't happen. Yeah, and it's just like, and they do kill Michael Myers in this movie. The problem is this movie not even so bad that it's funny, it's just bad. But like, there's one scene that I could not believe. Is it the last scene of Halloween, the trilogy that we get? And the last scenes are 3 exterior shots of inside the house. We get a shot of the kitchen, we get a shot of a room, and then we get a shot of the living room with Michael Myers on the ground. And then you kind of hear someone lightly breathing, and then that's it. We get 3 shots from inside the house, and then it's it. And then we get Blue Oyster Kill. All my faces. I just want to... it makes me want to kill that movie, because seriously, they could not write a worse third movie to the end of this franchise until Universal decides to, you know, milk this franchise again, which they eventually will do probably in a couple years. But like, to this trilogy, and for Jamie Lee Curtis, you know, finally stop playing Laurie and everything, like this kind of end of a chapter is just like, they really dropped the ball. It was just awful, bad. It's just like bad on every level. I'm gonna give this movie a 0 out of 10. A 0, because there was not one fun, entertaining aspect, not one likable character in this movie. Everybody's cranked up to 11. The pacing and editing of the scenes and the way it's directed and shot is fucking terrible. Yes, I mean, seriously, Michael Myers is a bitch in this, and it's like literally 5 minutes in the movie. I mean, seriously, the amount of Michael Myers is called Halloween Ends. This was supposed to be like the big final battle between Laurie and Harley, like winner takes all, and we don't get that at all. We get some bitch ass, weak ass Michael Myers who hides in the sewer and doesn't even kill barely anybody. Michael Myers kills in the entirety of this movie 2 people. In the last movie, he killed over fucking 20 people. And now he killed 2. 2. What's wrong with this franchise? I mean, She-Hulk was just like, oh, She-Hulk was bad. Rings of Power is just bad. Then Halloween Ends is just bad. I mean, just like, I mean, Hollywood on the roll on making terrible content. This movie, don't go see it, this movie. Seriously, it's not worth. You just get infuriated. If you're a diehard Halloween fan, like I tell you, you will not find one enjoyment of this movie. I mean, seriously, it's just bad. This movie is terribly written, bad directing. But anyway, let me know what you think about the movie. You saw my thoughts, and I'm happy that we're finally done with Michael Myers, because they could not write a worse ending for this trilogy, but I'm just done by this point. It's like, I don't even care. Hollywood, the first one was okay. Halloween Kills was actually a fun, entertaining movie, and this is just an abomination. I don't know what the hell they were smoking. I don't know what the hell they were thinking when they're trying to make this movie. But anyway, thanks everybody for watching.